Welcome everybody to a very special video. We are talking about the top 10 moments from A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season 1. You know me, the Game of Thrones historian, and this is my very, very good friend, Jordan. Introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here. I am Jordan from @RayandJordan on YouTube, where we post vlogs and we post sit-down videos like this and mukbangs, all that good stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please go over and drop a sub because I would appreciate it so much.
And we're good friends, aren't we? We go way back.
Oh my gosh, yes, it's been years at this point, I think. Yeah.
We united over our love of Game of Thrones, The Song of Ice and Fire, and so when A Night of the Seven Kingdoms was coming around, it was like, we've got to do this, because we've done a video before, haven't we, about House of the Dragon?
Yeah, we did season 2 best moments, I think.
Yeah, we'll have to do season 3 as well.
Yeah, definitely. I'm very excited for season 3 because the trailer just came out. But
oh god, you know, there's so much happening this year, and then hopefully we'll have season 2 of Dunk and Egg next year. I think they're saying.
I think so, yeah.
Keep it going. So, it's good times. It's good times in the fandom.
Yeah, this is a very good time, very good year, especially.
It is. It is. So we're going to run through. We've kind of compared notes, haven't we? And we've got like a summary of moments that we just think are like the standout moments. And obviously, as we go through, we want people to let us know, do you think this moment is it on your list? Or do you think this moment needs to be on? Is there something we've missed? Or is there something you think, I don't like that moment? We want to know. We want to talk about the whole thing.
Yeah, because we have both big moments and small moments. So, I mean, there's an array of things in there.
Indeed. And that's the thing. Like, with this story, I think some of my favorite moments are actually those, like, teeny tiny little things. Sometimes that is the best.
I agree.
So, right, let me get my notes up. Oh, let's see. Okay, 1 second.
Also, these are in like no particular order. There's no ranking to them.
Oh yeah.
There's just all these good moments.
Not a ranking system because it's hard. Like, I don't even know which episode is my favorite. Like, there's different reasons for different ones. So yeah, maybe that's something to do a video on, like putting the episodes in order of like least favorite to favorite, but there's not a least favorite. Like, they're all good.
Yeah,
I think it's so great.
I would feel so bad about putting any of them towards the bottom.
Yeah. I just feel like the season got better and better and better, and I didn't think it would be this good.
I know.
Dare I say it was a good story, but I think everyone just took it, and everyone's role, whether big or small, they did it really well.
Yeah, they really did. Like, even the side characters were like, this is really bringing the story to life so much. I love
Sometimes even stealing the scene.
I know. Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely.
We'll get onto that, won't we? So, I mean, I will say a spoiler warning, because there's always somebody who stumbles across this and there's like, wait, what?
Yeah.
There's always one. So the first moment we want to talk about, and again, in no particular order, is Egg's reveal. You want to tell me what you thought when you saw that?
Like, besides the story aspect of it, my favorite thing about this scene was the music. That music was insane. And I mean, this is the moment I've been looking forward to all season already. But like, to have the music thrown in there with it just made it, I think, potentially my favorite moment in the entire season.
It's Dan Roma, isn't it? I'm just on his Instagram right now.
Yes. Yeah, and I think
amazing.
I think the night the final episode aired is when they dropped the soundtrack, and I immediately went and started listening to all that stuff.
Oh, I need to. I feel like I've got like a long car journey on Friday, so I might just put it on and just drive and listen to the whole thing.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, that moment, the way that it built up, and obviously, like, I knew in advance that the reveal, but it's all about how they pull it off. And I just think it was done so well, and you saw the way that it all kind of clicked, all those little clues, the my lord thing that we all caught, and little bits like that go over Dunk's head. It's just, it really does. It's just so fitting for the entire story that Dunk has no idea. Like,
Yeah.
so shocked. And for Egg to step up the way he did, he didn't have to. Like, I think people might take for granted that, you know, he's a good kid who did this, but would Arion have done that?
Yeah, definitely not. Egg is showing some signs of like he's a really good person already at like 8 years old.
Yeah.
He's going to help this guy that he's known for like a couple days at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what's kind of crazy. I think we forget in the heat of the moment with all of the stuff going on, this all takes place over like a week or something.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy
Hmm.
how everyone gets so locked in with all of the characters, like Lionel Baratheon. He's like, him and Dunk, they barely even know each other,
I
but
know.
there's an instant connection.
Yeah, they act like they've known each other for years.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. So yeah, Egg's reveal, I think, is gonna go down as like, you had to be there. It was legendary. It was like, oh, he's a Targaryen after
Yeah.
all. And Egg is short for Aegon. And I
Hmm.
do want to just touch on quickly how Dunk felt afterwards. Like, he was hurt and felt a little blindsided. And I
Yeah.
think that's just, it's part of Dunk's naivety. It's part of what we love about him, but
Yes.
it's that whole thing where he's like, I didn't see it coming. And he doesn't like to look dumb. He doesn't like being thick as a castle wall. So
Yeah.
the fact that he's been hoodwinked by this little kid, I
Hmm.
think it's a little not hurting his ego, but I think he just feels like, oh, damn, I didn't see it coming. This young child
Yeah.
pulled the wool
And
over my eyes.
it kind of sucks for him because I know he doesn't see a lot of things coming and then he gets mad about it. But I
Yeah.
mean, I think it kind of helped that Egg felt bad for it afterwards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shout out to Dexter Solancel.
Oh my gosh, his acting is
Yeah,
insane.
like that
Like,
kid, he's so talented and he's got such a strong family support around him. You
mhm,
just know he's going to do amazing things.
yeah.
Like, what a star. Like, I think he was 9 when he filmed this first season.
Mhm.
Like, 9.
I know.
Incredible.
I always forget that he was in The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes too.
Yes.
Hmm.
Yes, I know. Isn't that just like a crazy like
I know.
crossover?
He's doing so many things we like.
Exactly. So, do you want to tell me what you think is the second moment that we want to talk about? Another standout from the season.
Okay, one scene I had just recently went back and looked at was Makar and Baelor's discussion about family when Dunk is kind of standing just outside the room listening to them. It was
Yeah, we were all
so
Dunk,
good.
weren't we? We were like,
Mhm.
spill the
It's like
tea, babe.
let me hear, let me listen in on the keeping up with the Targaryens, the
Yes.
little family
Also,
drama.
do you think Lady Gwyn was listening in like down the hall?
She
Like, she was
definitely
like,
was. Yeah, that's why
she
she was
wanted to
so
know.
mad when she saw Dunk because she's like, "This is my spot. What are you doing
Yeah,
here?
this is
I'm
where
supposed
I
to be
stand.
listening."
Yes. I love it. Yeah, I love that scene as well because it was an insight into this family. And
Hmm.
that's the thing. Like, yes, we know them as like the Targaryens and they are royalty and all this, and they come in on the horses with the flags, but they're just a bunch of family members who don't always get on. And I
Yeah,
love
don't
seeing that.
always.
Mm. Generation after generation fighting each other. Like, it's
Yeah,
fire and blood is not even the appropriate like
yeah,
slogan. It's like we Targ versus Targ.
yeah, definitely.
You don't need to bring them down. They'll destroy each other.
Hmm.
I love that where they mentioned people that we don't meet on the show. So
Hmm.
Maker and Baelor's other brothers, Eris
Hmm.
and Rhaegal. And I've had a lot of people asking like, what's up with them? Why are they not at the tourney? And it's like, well, Rhaegal's a little, he's got some things going on. He's dealing with some issues and he's not
Yeah.
really in the right frame of mind. Let's put it that
Hmm.
way. And Eris doesn't seem to have any interest in this kind of thing. So Baelor and Maker go to represent the family. And within 5 minutes of getting there, they're already bitching about each other. I just love
Yeah.
that.
And I know, like, Baylor, he's I'm sure he's stressed out about everything, but Makar, he is on a whole other level of being stressed out. Like, he is
Yeah.
miserable being there.
Yeah. What do you think of Maker? Just quickly, like, because I've heard mixed reviews. Like, some people love his portrayal, and some people are not loving it. And for me, I thought Maker was probably, if not if it's not the Dunk and Egg story, it's the Maker story, because
Yeah,
he stole the show
yeah,
for me, Sam
yeah.
Spruill. I
I
love
loved
it.
it. And he's a perfect Targaryen. Like I'm pretty sure he has like naturally white hair and everything already.
Mm-hmm.
But he is
And the bone
literally
structure too. He's got like that
yes.
face.
Yes. The bone structure and like the grimaces and the looks of disgust that he's
Mm.
constantly throwing around, it's perfect. I think he might be like my favorite actor in the show portraying somebody. It was
I think,
literally so perfect.
yeah, it's hard for me to think, did anyone do better? And it's hard to, it's like picking your favorite children.
Yeah.
It's not like a competition, but he did so well. And I was gutted when we didn't have him in that episode where he's off trying to find the kids. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
I don't want to see Maker. But
Yeah.
again, it made total sense that he is stressed because he's concerned. He doesn't know where two of his children are.
Mhm.
They were meant to basically arrive at the same time, more or
Yeah.
less.
And one of them is a kid that he actually has some hope for, you know.
Yes, exactly. Like, that's the thing with Maker. He has these four sons, two daughters, presumably still at Summer Hall, not
Mhm.
interested in coming along to this event. And you've got Maester Aemon at the Citadel. And then the other three are there at the tourney. And all three of them are stressing Maker out. Like, he
Yeah.
was stressed to bits, and understandably so.
Yeah, he like literally like I know he was stressed out and everything, but like this show was much more comedic than the other ones, so I was
Mm,
laughing at his stress all the
yeah.
time.
That's the thing.
And
It's such a heartwarming thing. And
mhm,
when I went to the premiere, I was saying to some of the production team and to Ira Parker, I said, it's kind of like watching Lord of the Rings, that feeling of like, it's a warm story. It's horrible. A lot of nasty things happen. But at the same time, it's like, I love to watch it over and over. Does that make
yeah.
sense?
Yeah, it,
There's
it
like,
makes perfect sense.
yeah, there's just a feeling where I feel like A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season one is gonna just be one of those things that people love to rewatch. It's just in a capsule. It's tied up in a bow. It's perfect.
Mhm.
And I feel like even though things do get messy and things happen that have us all bursting into tears, there's so much comedy and humor just in the most random of moments. Like when Raymond Fossaway was laughing when Egg was telling the story about Arion being awful. He's like sniggering, like, because that's sort of what brothers do. And he's like not really understanding, no, this is a bit more than just, brother on brother
Mhm.
pranks or whatever. And it's
Yeah.
like not the moment to laugh, but you can't help but chuckle because I think there's like a sincerity to these characters, especially with someone like Raymond. I think we might touch on him more in a bit.
Mhm.
But going back to that scene where the Targaryens have arrived and Maker is frazzled and he doesn't know where Daron is, doesn't know where Egg is. And the fact that Daron is the eldest of his children, you'd think he would be a little more put together, but he's let
Yeah.
his father down. He's gone off, and Baelor said something like, "This is not the first time." So you feel like, oh, there's some stories here. And,
Yeah.
if Baelor wanted to spill the tea, I would not be mad.
Yeah, I mean, I know we'll talk more about Daron later,
Mm,
but I don't know. I feel like I can give him some slack because he's going through it. He has some,
mm,
some mental health issues, I
yeah,
guess you can call it.
yeah,
And I mean, yeah, he's going through it, and I feel like he's trying to be a good role model for Egg, trying as hard as he can anyway.
yeah.
But yeah, I feel like everybody just needs to cut him some slack because
I
they're
agree.
they're not experiencing the same things that he's going through. Not everyone is,
Hmm.
a dreamer. Not
Hmm.
everyone, not
Yeah.
everyone has what he has.
And I think not to like compare dreamers, but it feels like his whatever he's going through, it's a lot more intense than
Hmm.
maybe others. It just seems like it is a lot. And yeah, we will touch on Daron later on because I think we've got a lot of really good things to say about that
Yeah,
character. I'm gonna move on to the next point, which actually it is Daron.
that's a good segue.
See, it was meant to be. So Daron, when he turns up and he reveals to Dunk, the reason why I was so freaked out when I saw you is because I've had this dream and my dreams come true. And these are weird dreams, dragon dreams that suggests something ominous, but for people who might not really know much about the dragon dreams, like they might not have read the books, they might be like, what's a dragon dream? It's basically a dream where you see things, but you don't get all the pieces of the puzzle. And so you don't really know what the message is. And it's like, you wake up and it's sort of, well, how do I act upon that? How do I interpret that? And it's something that terrifies Daron. Like, he seemed genuinely spooked. Like, he's freaked out. Like, it's not a joke to him anymore. I think maybe he started drinking just as like oh, you know, this will take the edge off. But things are getting pretty bad. And for him to have a dream that is so strong, that he's so freaked out, that he even tells Dunk about it. Like, I think also the fact that he converses with Dunk in a way, like, not the same as Egg, but Daron is willing to like have a conversation with Dunk in a way Arion was not prepared to. Like, he didn't give Dunk the time of day.
Yeah, he feels like he's above it, basically.
Very much so. Like, he was very snooty, like thinking he was a stable boy. And Daron didn't have that kind of attitude. And I think that's something that I wasn't expecting to warm to Daron as much as I did on the show, even though I have a lot of sympathy for the character, and I've always liked the character. I do think Henry Ashton just nailed it. For a character that is a secondary character, kind of not Dunk, not Egg, but he kind of stole every scene he was in.
Yeah, the casting department was like, they need a raise or something, because this was insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, for me, Dragon Dreamers are always like really, really intriguing to me. And like, I know like Daron's he's kind of more, I guess, we get to see more of him basically. But like another dreamer I really enjoyed was Danis the Dreamer. And like, it's just so intriguing to me that they can have these dreams and stuff, and it like predicts things, and like, no wonder they're so stressed out about everything. I wish we could get a little more look into like how other dreamers were stressed out and how they were coping with it, because I know Daron, he copes with it several different ways, but I'm glad we get to see like more of a I guess like hands-on look into it. Like, we get to see it in the show, because I mean, we didn't really get to see much about Dragon Dreams in Game of Thrones, really.
Yeah, they kind of skimmed over it a little bit. And I think it was just too much to explain, maybe for the average viewer, because it is quite niche within the story, and you do kind of go down rabbit holes. So I can see why they skimmed over it. But in the books, they're a huge thing. And I agree with everything you've said. The thing with Daron, seeing him on screen, I mean, did you hear that?
Yeah.
How rude. I'm talking, filming. That was the car horn. It wasn't me farting, people. Anyway. So the thing with Daron is seeing him on screen. I mean, you have that empathy. You see on his face. Henry Ashton's a spectacular actor, because, I mean, a lot of people are talking about he could be the perfect Rhaegar, and I see it. Like,
I do see it, yeah.
He's got that kind of tortured look on his face.
He does.
Like, he does Daron being tortured very well. And I think it was brilliant.
He was. Yeah, it's literally like, that's perfect for Daron.
Yeah. And I think also, I wouldn't even be mad if they did a TV production or a film adaptation of the Rhaegar Lyanna, the rebellion, the whole thing. And if they wanted to cast Henry Ashton as Rhaegar, yeah, do it.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
fine. He's got the face for it.
Yeah, and ancestors, you know, they might like have some really strong resemblance to their other ancestors, to their other family members. So you never know.
And I also
I'm here for that.
We've got like a mixture of like new talent, and we've got people who are like established actors on this show, and it just meshes really well.
It does.
And I huge shout out to Henry Ashton, because when I was lucky enough to speak to him, he was like, oh, you know who I am? Not in a braggy way, but in like he didn't expect anyone to know who he was, because he's not super well known yet. And I'm like, dude, just give it 2 minutes. You are going to be so famous, because this is one of the biggest shows in the world. I think it was like the 3rd most watched, something on HBO Max. It's like right at the top.
Yeah.
Getting millions and millions and millions of viewers. I'm like, dude, everyone's going to know your names.
Everyone loves him. Yeah, and I'm seeing all the edits of him, and
Yeah.
people absolutely love him. And I mean,
Yeah.
I've seen edits of him and of Daron and Dunk too, but I'm not gonna get into that.
Oh, I see. That's not come across my FYP yet.
Yeah, yeah.
I hope I do
People,
see this. I want to see it.
I'll
But
send you some
yeah,
because people ship literally every character in
yeah,
Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
this is true. So yeah, I think Daron has just been. He's a minor character, but took the scene and really ran with it. And I think
Hmm.
sometimes even just the look on his face was enough. Like, he's a scared guy,
Yeah,
and I think Dunk as well is like, well, what am I going to do with this information? You know, when he
yeah,
says, like, a dragon falls on you and you survive, Dunk's like, wait, what? That is not
yeah.
helpful.
He's just like, where do I go from here? It's
Yeah,
like, thanks for telling me, but what am I gonna do with
yeah.
all of this information?
I do
Oh,
appreciate Daron saying I would withdraw his accusation. Like when he said he told the fib about Dunk taking
mhm.
egg to absolve himself of blame. At least he said, my bad. I
Yeah,
take
he
it
was able
back.
to admit it. Yeah,
If it helps, but obviously it was like it was a bit too late at that point.
yeah. It's like you have to understand the position he's in, but
Yeah. I think
he's
he's
the
a
one who got
scared
himself into
guy.
that position. So.
Yeah, that's exactly it. He put himself in the position, but I think he's also like terrified of letting his dad down,
Hmm.
especially because Lady Diana, the mother, is no longer around. So
Hmm.
Maker is the only parent they have, and I think Daron probably took on extra responsibilities. Maybe he was very involved in like raising the younger ones when they were young, when they were like firstborn,
Yeah,
toddlers and stuff, because you saw how close he was with Egg. And I think that was just a nice moment because they don't necessarily go into so much detail in this story because it's such a short story,
hmm,
So I think that was nice to see them flesh out these relationships. Just
yeah,
little moments. It was lovely.
yeah. I was very surprised, like how much was conveyed just from those little moments, because it's like
Yeah.
I knew like they had a good relationship, and like I was kind of looking forward to them adding maybe a little bit more in there between Daron and Egg, and like they added enough in there where I'm like, I'm getting the vibe from this. I understand that
Yeah.
their relationship dynamic basically.
A lot of people have left me comments in the past couple of days saying they want to watch like a sitcom of Maker and the kids. And I'm like, I would watch that so
I
badly.
would, I
Like, or
would.
even just like a reality thing, like a Keeping Up with the
Yes,
Targaryens,
that's what I'm
100%
saying. Keeping up with the
down.
Targaryens.
I
Yes.
would watch the shit out of that because
Mhm.
it's so interesting to see this family. And I think the reason why all of these siblings kind of resonate with people for different reasons, even Arion, is because they're all human and they're all struggling. And I think that's just
Mhm.
a universal thing that everyone can relate to. Like it's a
Yeah,
family going through some shit,
and
even though they are royalty.
yeah, and I do feel like the Targaryens in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms seem much more human than the Targaryens in House of the Dragon or before
Mm.
that, because they don't have their dragons, and people maybe view them a little differently without the dragon. So it's like,
Mhm.
we can kind of. I feel like that's why this show might be so loved, and like why the Targaryens in the show might be so
Yeah.
loved, even though some of them are absolutely insane still.
Yeah.
Because people can relate to them so much, and it's like it's really just a single dad Makar going through it and having to deal with
Mhm.
these kids that are stressing him out. So
Mhm.
yeah,
It's like 6 kids. That's a
yeah,
lot. That's a lot
yeah,
for 2 parents. So
yeah.
like, and I feel like when I looked at the ages, I mean, if Egg's only like 9, and then there's another child after, it's like, okay, so it can't have been that long ago when she died, the mother, when Lady Diana Dane
Mhm.
died. So I feel like Maker is still getting to grips with
Yeah,
how do you how do you parent all of these kids who are very different and then sprinkle on top, oh yeah, the boys at the very least, they have they have dragon dreams. So it's like, and I wonder, does Maker, did he ever have any, or did that skip a generation because not everyone has it? But it's
yeah,
weird that Maester Aemon says, my brothers all had dragon dreams, and that's a lot because we don't have that much specificity
hmm,
throughout other generations, and it makes you wonder, is there more people that are dragon dreamers that we just never even thought about,
yeah,
aside from like maybe Aerys, I think the
yeah.
Mad King, for
And
example, or Rhaegar maybe, but makes
I
you
do
wonder.
think I do think that some of the Targaryens might not even realize that they're dragon dreamers. They might have dreams and they don't even like connect them with the events that are happening. So it's like,
and would you share with anybody if you had a dragon dream? Would you tell anybody, or would you keep it to yourself because you think
because
I'll
we
look
do
crazy?
know we do know the reputation of a lot of the dragon dreamers in the Targaryen family. It's like I don't know if I would want to be associated with that reputation,
Yeah.
basically.
It's almost like a shame thing. Maybe that's part of Daron's thing. He's like, damn, you know, we've got some pretty infamous Targaryens who've done some crazy stuff, you know, people like Maegor the Cruel and what have you. So it's like, do I want to be lumped in with like the notorious people in our family? Probably not. And so I think that's part of Daron's struggle where he's like, how do I even tell people what these dreams are? Because I don't understand them myself. And especially in the culture of the Faith of the Seven, they don't want to hear either. Like, you've been having crazy dreams. Yeah.
Keep that to yourself. We don't want any of that.
Yeah, exactly. Like that will not go down very well at all. So let me consult my list.
Oh, one thing I did want to say though.
Yeah.
I know this was not ever in the books, but the line where Daron says, "My dreams are not like yours, mine come true," that was in the books. But then I know there's a line in Game of Thrones where Daenerys says something very similar, where she's like, "I'm no ordinary woman, my dreams come true," and I'm like,
season 2, isn't it? When she's in Qarth.
Yeah, it's when she's in Qarth, and I'm
with
like,
the hair and the blue dress.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was like on purpose that they made such a like a parallel line, but I loved it because like that I know like we said that they kind of skipped over the dragon dreams in Game of Thrones, but that was kind of a little touch on it. And I'm glad that they touched on it a tiny little bit.
Yeah, I think the whole aspect of trying to do the House of the Undying and that the whole all the different things like they had to condense for TV, I think a lot did get cut, but it was nice that they did include that little reference because that was not that long after she had brought the dragons back. So I think for people who haven't read the books, if they did, they might be surprised by how much, especially in book 1 where Daenerys has multiple dreams and they're all very distinctive. Like it's not a mellow chill dream. These dreams are kind of wild. Like it's a lot. So I think a lot of people who might not, for understandably if they've not read the books, they're not going to realize how important these dragon dreams are, or maybe not even how important they are, but how much they can affect individual characters and cause them to do outrageous things. So I think dragon dreams, I'm glad that we got the time to learn a bit more about them, and you could just see on Daron's face like the guy is tired. Like when did he last have a good night's sleep? You know, that's kind of
I don't care how stressful the dragon dreams are to the characters. That's one of my favorite things in the fandom, so please keep them coming.
Exactly, like Daenerys might wake up in a sweat, but it's fascinating stuff. Like we want to read it. I would love to see more of that if we ever get Winds of Winter, but who knows?
Don't have any negativity towards it. I've seen people saying that like we're gonna have, in the third quarter of the year, since we have A Night of the Seven Kingdoms first quarter, House of the Dragon second quarter, in the third quarter we're gonna have the Winds of Winter.
I mean, in a fairy tale, yes. Who knows? I feel like at this point it's 50-50. We might not.
So, I'm not expecting anything, but if something happens, I'll be very happy.
Oh God, absolutely. Could you imagine the group chat if and when like that would?
I would. Well, when it comes out, I would not be on any social media. I wouldn't even leave the house until I finished that book.
I would probably try and queue up and buy the book like at midnight. Like I would be one of those people like camping out. And being like, I'm not even looking at my phone. Just
That's what I did for the new Hunger Games book. I went to a midnight release party and then I didn't do anything the next day except to read the book. So
Sunrise is so good. Like we should probably do a separate live or video about Sunrise because
yes, we definitely should. Because I'm gonna reread it. I'm gonna reread it before the movie comes out.
Yeah, definitely. Me too. So the next point I want to mention is the scene where we get the jousting and Arion does what he does, the sneaky little bitch. And I mean, firstly, he prances around and he's peacocking and he's showing off. And it's like, Baelor's face was all of us. Like, just get lined up. faffing on.
Yeah.
And the whole thing where he tries to kind of rile up Prince Baelor, he's just making himself kind of, he's peacocking.
Yeah, because
So
Prince Baelor, he's so chill and just like,
doesn't need to do too
okay.
much.
He's like,
Yeah.
whatever, go.
Yeah, Baelor is like, bitch, please, settle yourself down. Like,
Yeah.
who are you, little cousin? I wish he'd sort of been like a little bit more sassy, but he doesn't need to be because he is the heir to the heir. So
exactly.
but yeah, the whole incident with Arion, what he did, basically striking the horse, deliberately trying to kind of be messy. It's not what the rules are meant to be. It's not honorable. And it was just horrible for everybody. So early on in the event, like people were like, this is kind of gross, and the crowd gets wild, and when they're throwing the patty at Arion, and then Egg's reaction,
helmet just slides close.
oh, it was perfect. It was just like chef's kiss. It was like bum.
Yeah,
I love that.
I do love
also Egg. Just I'll never get over that look with the tears in his eyes.
Yes, and he's like, it wasn't a mishap. I'm like,
oh yeah, because and it's so dunk to not really think much of it. And Egg's like, no, that was intentional.
Yeah, because he knows exactly how Arion is. So
yeah, exactly. That's the thing, and this is kind of before they reveal, what Arion did to Egg's cat and what he would do, sneaking into his bedroom. This kid, something did happen to Arion that changed him, because I firmly believe that nobody was born mad. Even if we look at characters like Joffrey or Ramsay Bolton, I try and force myself to think of a reason as to why they're like this, and try not to think that they're just born this way.
Yeah, it's just genetic. Yeah,
I'm like, that's a bit of a cop out, because there's a lot of people who go through worse who don't end up doing this kind of stuff.
Exactly.
So yeah, I think Arion doing what he did, like, dude, you're a knight, you're a prince, you're meant to be looked upon as the standard, and you did something super shady, and and also the way that Egg was saying to Dunk, this is not an accident, and it's not saying too much to give away to Dunk who Egg really is and what his experience is. It's the way that it's like an onion unraveling or blooming, whatever the phrase is, slowly layer by layer. And I think a lot of people have spoken about the way the show doesn't spoon feed you, doesn't have to spoon feed you, but it tells you what you need to know, and it lets the audience put it together. And you slowly see, when you look back at maybe episodes 1, 2, and 3, you see these things that they were already there, but it's when it's sort of revealed. And the fact that Egg has no desire to reunite with his family quickly, at the beginning, he's happy to take his time. He's happy to go off and mess around in the barn, play with the horses. It's not like he's desperate to be sat beside Arion at a feast. So I think you start to see those little moments where the family are not as close as they would like to present to the outside world. So I've got the book that I got in New York. I just love the colours on the front.
Yes, I have my edition too.
It's so nice.
We have matching ones.
I've not seen this in the UK, so I don't know if it was not printed in the UK. I don't know, but anyway, so I've got that one, and I've got the graphic novel.
Oh my gosh.
It's so good. And I've got the Swan Sword, but I don't have the last one, the Mystery Knight. So the next one I've got on my list, I think this is one we both share.
Yes, I love this one.
I'll let you go.
The whole monologue and speech. Okay, thank you. Let me cook. The whole speech where Dunk is like, are there no true knights among you? And he's giving his speech to the noble people, and everyone's just sitting there staring at him.
Yeah.
But I got chills in this scene. It was so good. Peter Claffey, let's give him some applause, because that man, I could not take my eyes off the screen. I was so rapt just staring at it. I'm like, I don't know. This is some of the best television I've ever watched. I loved it so much.
I feel like I'm running out of good things to say about this show. There's only so many words to describe it. And I feel like every video, I'm like, no, it really is that good.
Yeah, just start looking
I'm not just saying it.
Just start looking up synonyms for the word good and amazing and spectacular.
Exactly. But he's been brilliant. He's lovely guy and super like perfect for this role. Like he's such a tall guy, but he's like a pussycat. Like Dunk is a pussycat.
Yes, he has like such a gentle aura, and I love it.
Yes, very much so. And it's that moment of like him shaming everybody, you know, are there no true knights among you? And for people to just be silent, and it's like, it really just brings it home. Yeah, you're on your own. Like nobody's coming to your rescue. And I think that's partly why Sir Arlen is there in like the flashbacks, like seeing him kind of urge him on, because that's the only person who's ever really been in Dunk's corner, the only person who's ever really protected him. And now he's really on his own. Like it brings it home. Yes, Sir Arlen's gone, and this is the reality. Like, damn, it's scary.
Yeah, and I mean, I know it's more so like the small folk, but like there were a lot of people there who were very pro Dunk and wanting to see Dunk succeed. So it's like I kind of wonder what was going through their minds when they're just watching him go back and forth, trying to find, you know, more knights and stuff. Because it's like, damn, like he's doing what's right and just, but nobody else is helping him. And I'm like, that divide between the nobles and the small folk is just like
so good.
It's very, very obvious right there. Very obvious.
Very pointed. And I think it was Bertie Carvel, who plays Baelor, had said in an interview about how Baelor, you know, it's kind of the same thing with the crowd, small folk, and especially the nobility. Nobody really has to do anything. Like they can all turn and look the other way and just be like, not our problem.
Yeah.
But he said that Baelor chose to get involved when he didn't have to. And that's the kind of same thing where in this situation, when it's just silence, it's that feeling of like, damn, are you all a bunch of cowards?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, like
it's
this
like,
is
are you cowards? Are you cowards, or are you just scared that like, oh, what if I, you know, get on Dunk's team and then he loses, and then I'm gonna have this terrible reputation or whatever?
Yeah, like the ripple effect. You don't want to do anything to get on the wrong side of the crown. You don't. Nobody wants to bet on the wrong side.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like, come on, where's your integrity?
Exactly. Because like even if you lose, you still did the right thing, and like all the small folk know that. So it's like.
And I also feel, I'm not sure if it's been the same in the States, but the adverts, the commercials and everything for the show, I've heard that line, are there no true knights among you, over and over again. Like every time there is an ad break, I've heard that for months leading up to this show. So it's not even something like I wasn't aware of. Sometimes when I hear things, like it was the same for House of the Dragon, when they would show the previews. And I remember for season 1, Matt Smith saying, I'm your heir. And he says it in a really squeaky way. And that always like, and I kept hearing that for months. I'm your heir.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing where I've heard it and heard it and heard it. But this time, hearing it in the middle of the scene, it was like I'd heard it for the first time.
It hit so different. It's like, I feel like, I don't know, I'm still getting chills even though I've heard it 100 times.
I know.
Yeah.
It was just like, yes. And it was just nice to finally like be able to cheer for somebody standing up and doing the right thing amongst a bunch of absolute cowards.
Yes.
Like, and also the fact that Dunk is left in the lurch at the very last minute. It's one thing to like let someone down, but at least let them know in advance.
Yeah.
Like Stefan wasn't even going to say anything. Like he was just like, not my problem. He didn't have the courtesy to even explain himself.
Yeah, and I don't.
That just shows the difference.
I don't know. I'm not sure if he was doing it on purpose, but like it almost seemed like he was just taking advantage of like Dunk's kind of stupidity a little bit. Like, you know, he's gonna make him think that he's on his side and like, you know, helping him, but then at the very last moment he's gonna be like, actually, I'm just gonna go over here and help them, you know. But it's like, I don't know, that all the tension that's building up in that scene, and then I mean everybody's blood is just pumping really fast, and then Baelor comes out, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
Can we talk about that moment?
Yes, we should. That's one of the things where I'm saying it's like it's a little tacked on to this moment.
Yeah,
but.
I think that is it's pretty like a segue straight into that. Makes sense. This was something that I didn't talk about like before the episode aired, and I made the choice not to mention it because I really wanted people to be surprised and be like, oh. And honestly, the comments, because I specifically said to people, please do let me know if you knew this was coming, and how did you feel? And if you didn't know, what was it like to watch this on screen? And the comments were all so amazing. Like, this was just breathtaking. It's one of the best, like, Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire moments on TV ever. Yes. It's up there with, like, the Ned Stark. Like, people just never saw it coming. And there were a few people who were like, I had an inkling, but then seeing him trot out and then reveal his identity, like, because he had obviously Valar's helmet on. It was perfectly done. Like, they didn't overdo it. It was just, I could watch that moment again and again and again forever.
Yes. And also, like, the Game of Thrones theme playing while it happens. I'm like, please stop, please stop. This is the gag supreme. I cannot do this right now.
Honestly, yeah. Like, it was perfect. And it really makes you feel like everybody who worked on this show, they all seem to really care about the little details, and they're putting in these Easter eggs for the fans where it's like, oh, I see what you're doing there. I see the connections, and it just feels like they genuinely love the story and they are happy to tell it. It all just kind of came together. I don't really know what it is that made this all work, but that moment, that reveal, that's going to go down as like, do you remember where you were when Baelor trotted out?
Yeah, because, like, I audibly cheered. Like, I had to sit forward and on my couch. I'm like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. And I was like patting Ray and I'm like, oh my God, do you see this? Do you see this? And he's like, yeah, I see it. Like, you don't get it. I knew it was going to happen, but like, oh my God.
Oh, we love Ray. Like, he doesn't get it, but he might at one point, you know, he'll one day we'll get him to know what it all means. Because we're like, oh my God.
He was still pretty engaged in the show, and he was like asking questions and stuff. And I'm like,
oh, I love that.
It's so good. I'm so happy, like, I got to watch it with someone else, because it's like, imagine me just sitting here, you know, cheering at the TV alone. And I'm like, you know.
That's the thing. Sharing these moments and watching people watch the show. I love those videos of people, like, you know, when it's people watching the Red Wedding and someone's filming their reaction, and it's like, I wonder sometimes, are they like faking it, or but sometimes it's real. Like, I think some people might do it for a bit, but some people are genuinely like, no, that's not, no way. Like,
when I watched Game of Thrones with Ray for the first time, I didn't even start recording his reactions, because I recorded some of his reactions. I didn't start recording them until like season 6. And the first one I recorded was when Cersei blew up the Sept. And that one went crazy. Like, everybody was commenting, liking it. And I'm like, I guess people like this kinds of thing. Because, like, me, the entire time we were watching it, I wasn't watching the TV. I was watching him.
Yeah.
Like, obviously people like this kind of stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Baelor reveal and him being like, look, let the gods decide. And it's that thing of, you know, he's asked Sir Duncan, how good a knight are you? He has to ask himself the same question. And does he want to just sit by when he knows Dunk means no harm? Like, Dunk is so oblivious to the seriousness of what's happened. And I think that's probably a good thing, because it kind of protects Dunk in a way.
Yeah.
I think Egg is probably more worried than Dunk is, because Egg knows how things work. I don't think it even registers with Dunk. Like, dude, you are in so much trouble here.
Yeah, like, and I know Dunk was like kind of freezing up a little bit, but like I feel like if he had really realized like the scale of things, like what he had done, it's like I feel like I don't even know if he would have been able to, you know, do anything. But
maybe it would have psyched him out. So maybe it's a good thing it doesn't really register, and he's a little bit oblivious, because I think it's scary for everybody. Maybe with the exception of like Lionel Baratheon, who seemed to be so excited.
Oh my God. That's another thing I wanted to say. When he walked up, I know, we're going to get to this in a second, but when he walked up, his armor looked insane. I loved Lionel's armor. Like, oh my gosh, I want the Funko of him so bad now.
Oh, I know. I keep checking. I've signed up for like the email notification for when they become available. So I'm just checking constantly, like, I need them for the collection.
Yeah.
And I've had to sort of I've got some Funkos here. Oh, I've just realized the hound is like tilting back. There we go. But I think I'm gonna zhuzh a few things up and get Dunk and Egg like pride of place. I want the whole set, and I hope they do like a second drop of characters: Baelor, Daron, Arion. I want to buy the whole family. Like,
Yeah, I want a like recently in the past couple of days I've become very partial to Makar, and I don't know, something about him I'm like I love his look, I love his attitude, I love everything
Yeah.
about him, and I'm like I need a Funko of him if they ever made one
Oh
of
my
him.
God, yeah. Like, absolutely.
Hmm.
Funko, if you're watching, just saying, there is a
Yeah.
Funko or Lego, because I would totally
Yes.
buy like a
Yes.
Lego. Why? I don't understand why they've not done that. Like,
I
I would
know.
buy Winterfell, all of these castles you could make
Hmm.
out of Lego. Like, Lego, we're doing the work for you. Just put it into production. Like, it's
Yeah.
all there. There's an audience. We'll
Hmm.
buy it.
Oh, also, I need one of Egg and his little hat and everything. That was one of my
Oh,
favorite
his little
looks.
like beret. Oh,
Yeah.
it's so cute.
Yeah.
Stylish little boy. I think that's the thing. Maker is like, my kids might drive me crazy, but they will look good.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
well, I saw somebody say they're like, oh God, Makar was like, please put something over that bald head. Nobody wants to see that. So he just popped a little hat on him and was like, there
yeah.
we go. Nobody needs to see that.
One thing I've got on the list here, which I'm kind of moving things around a little bit, because
Okay.
again, we're not doing this in any particular order.
Hmm.
But I wanted to mention Raymond Fossaway being knighted to
Yes.
replace Stefan, which I think probably fits in with the time we're talking about
Yeah, definitely.
in the episode. The fact that he didn't hesitate, and
Hmm.
he doesn't have any experience,
I
but he
know.
still puts himself forward. And again, it's like, I kind of lump Dunk, Raymond, and Baelor into the same category. They're all willing to put their own necks on the line because it's the right thing to do. They don't
Hmm.
hesitate. And then you've got people like, oh, hang on. I just got a low battery thing, so I want to
Oop,
make sure I
okay.
plug this in. But yeah, Stefan Fossaway. Well, the Fossaways in general, I think they were a delight. And I
Yeah.
think again, it's that thing of a character that's not a main character. Stefan and Raymond, neither of them are main characters, but they were brilliant, even though we
Hmm.
only see them for a short period of time. I just loved the interaction where Stefan still expected Raymond to help him, like with the,
Yeah.
and Raymond's like, "Are you joking? No,
Hmm.
like absolutely not. How
Yeah.
could you? Selling your soul and your integrity, like,
Hmm.
dude,
And
not a
how
good
much?
look."
Yeah, definitely. How much of Raymond helping Dunk do you think was him just wanting to get back at Stefan, or did you think he was actually genuine in
Um,
wanting to help
I
Dunk?
think it was both at the same time. I think he would have, even if something happened and Stefan didn't enter the side of the crown for whatever reason,
Hmm.
like say he was replaced, I still think Raymond would have stepped up for Dunk. But
Yeah.
there is that extra motivation of,
Yeah.
let me just get a few jabs in, because
Yeah.
he's been worn down, beat down by his cousin for so long. This is his chance to like get some punches in. And I think that definitely is why he survived. I think that gave him that
Yeah.
extra nudge, because on paper, I mean, bravery doesn't always win the day.
That's
So
true. That
like,
is true.
as much as you want, like, the in a David versus Goliath situation, you're like cheering on the underdog. But
Hmm.
facts are facts. Raymond was kind of out of his depth. But I
Yeah.
think maybe there was just that urge of, I am not going to let my cousin best me. I
Hmm.
think that's maybe what gave him that extra energy.
Yeah. Anger and spite are definitely very good motivators.
Exactly, exactly. And combined with doing the right thing for your new bestie,
Hmm.
we love Raymond Fossaway in
Yeah,
this
because
house.
I'm sure Raymond, like, he didn't have the most friends. So when Dunk came along and was actually treating him
Yeah.
nicely, he's like, you know what? I'm not gonna let this opportunity. I'm not gonna squabble this opportunity.
Oh my God, no. Nurse,
Yeah.
nurse, no. Shout out to Briar Blush. That's
But
one for
yeah,
the
I
Drag
do.
Race girlies.
I do really think that a lot of it was he just wanted to do the right thing and help somebody. Sorry, I threw everything off by saying that.
I'm just picturing when she fainted and the teeny little hole.
I know. Oh my god.
Poor Briar. Oh, what a season. Yeah, we might have to do a full video about RuPaul's Drag Race,
I
because
wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't
we are
mind
huge
that.
fans. And you're like besties with like Plastic Tiara, so.
Besties, don't.
She knows who you are. Like,
Yeah,
So, you know, that's
She
pretty
held my
cool.
phone that I'm recording on right now. So like,
yes.
come on.
Shout out to Plastique. Right, Raymond being knighted to replace Stefan. I also, just before we move on to like, the next thing about the being knighted part, I loved that Lionel did it and the way that they had that sort of monologue over the top. It was just like chef's kiss.
Yeah, I really
Perfect
enjoyed
moment.
like the back and forth with Dunk and Sir Arlen too, because it's like I feel like in the moments where Dunk was kind of doubting himself a bunch, we would kind of see Sir Arlen, and it's like it's really nice to kind of see a little bit of parallels between them, because like I mean that's a whole nother thing, is like whether or not Dunk actually got knighted, and that's like a different conversation, but I mean, I feel like Dunk was just kind of relating to that, watching all this go down, and I don't know, I really enjoyed that. And then also Sir Arlen just being like, I don't know, like you got yourselves into this, you know? It's like
Sir Arlen has become the meme of memes. Like he's just like,
yeah.
You know what's funny is I was watching. I can't remember what episode it is exactly, but it's The Office when Jim. Do you watch The Office?
No, I don't.
Oh, there's an episode where Jim moves to a different office he moves from Scranton office to Stamford, and the whole thing is like he always looks to the camera and is like pulling funny faces, like deadpan. And one of the other people who work in the office was like, he just turns to the camera and he's always like, and it's like I'll try and find the clip and I'll send it to you, but it's just it's the Sir Arlen face. That's what I thought of. I was like, that's exactly what it was. It's the it's that emoji. It's the like
yes. I wasn't expecting Sir Arlen to be like such like comedy gold, because like I knew like he was just, you know, some old, you know, maybe a little drunken knight, but they really ran with like the comedy of it, and I'm so here for that. It worked so well.
You know, I actually wish I'd put that on our list. Maybe we should just quickly mention it. Just
why not? Why not?
Why not? We might have a top 11 moment. Who knows? We're just going to run through until we come to the end of our list, basically. But Sir Arlen, again, I think you've hit the nail on the head. He's a character that is not really present per se. He's somebody who dies at the very beginning, and to take him and make him into this bigger character, that was such a smart choice.
Yes.
To see the flashbacks and him drinking, falling asleep, holding the wineskin. Like it's just such a little detail, but of course, Sir Arlen would do that. He would sleep with it like this, like clutching it tight. And
he's like a teddy bear, basically.
The whole thing was brilliant.
Yes. Also, I was gonna say, like, I know people talk about characters like haunting the narrative, basically, and it's like he really haunted the narrative in the book. So it's like I'm glad they kind of like brought that to life more in the show.
Yeah,
it's like we knew.
I think they did it really well.
Yeah, definitely, because we knew some things about him in the book, but it's like this really gave him some more depth. And I know they added some things, but I do think the things that they added in the show were all I think pretty good. I think they all enhanced it really well, and that was just one of them.
I feel like they've ran things past George R.R. Martin, or he's been like on the other end of the phone, like, well, what do you think about this? Yeah, that, like, he's probably going through his notes, like, yeah, that's in Winds of Winter, or you know, whatever. Or
because I mean,
like more novellas, wink, wink. You know, I feel like he seems to be so closely connected to the production. It can't be a coincidence that there are moments where it's a risk adding in non-canon things, but it all felt like as if George had written them. It didn't feel like his story with bits added on. It felt like one piece. And again, that's I guess a testament to how they've pulled this show off.
Because he seemed like so positive and like excited about this. So it's like, I mean, there might have been some things involved with him, you know, okaying things or being like, this is what happened. But I'm so here for all of the things they added in. Like,
shout out to Sir Arlen, because that could have been somebody who we only saw in episode 1, and they chose to bring him back, and it just worked. It fits.
Yeah, because I don't know if he was in every single episode, but he was in like the majority of the episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just so good, because you're right. He could have just been in the first episode, and it's like they really utilized him and like expanded on it. And I feel like expanding on him helped expand on Dunk's character too.
Yeah.
So I loved it.
Oh, that's such a good point. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Right. Okay, so the next thing I have on my list, I'm kind of going back. Do you want to mention something, or should I just jump into this one? Do you have
I can start it. I can start it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go for it.
So it's when Steely Pate sees Dunk pretty much crying almost on the verge of tears in the rain, and he's like, come here, I got something for you. Come here,
Oh,
come into my wagon. And he comes in and basically saves the day, gives Dunk a therapy session for a very discounted price,
yeah.
basically.
Yes,
And
that was like he needed that. He
mhm.
really needed a friend in that moment.
Yeah, because what was the thing he said about the shield, the little
Oh,
saying?
it's something about, it's like a little sort of limerick. I can't remember off
Yeah.
the top of my head, but it's like basically like you don't need anything fancy. As long as you've got
Mhm.
something good, you'll be okay. And it's sort of like, don't get caught up in the trappings and all the
Mhm.
fanciness. I love that because he really, especially at the beginning when we first met him, when Dunk is looking at all the armor and realizes how expensive it's going to be and all
Yeah.
of this, straight away you can tell that Pate doesn't meet that many customers like Dunk,
Mhm.
and he seemed to just genuinely root for him. Like,
Yeah.
you're just a good guy who doesn't mean any harm, genuinely just wants to make the most of this tourney, try and like find something for your life, like try and get yourself on this path so you're not just on your own anymore. And for him to cheer Dunk on, to help him out, to make sure that the shield was tucked away safely in case anybody came and damaged it, because it could have been destroyed when
Mm.
Arion and his goonies were running around,
Yeah.
creating havoc. It's just little details where he pulled out the shield and he explains to Dunk. Dunk's obviously like, he's getting scared, like the
Yeah.
reality is hitting home. And then for him to say, is this shield a bad omen? And for Pate to be like, no, look at it the other way.
Hmm.
That was
Look
just
at the
so nice.
oak. Yeah, with the leaves and everything. Like
Yeah, like,
it's living. There's life
yeah.
here.
And it just, Steely Pate again, small character, but had a big impact. And he was
Yeah.
he was a necessary person for Dunk to have in his corner, because everyone
Yeah.
needs a Steely Pate.
Yeah, because
Everyone.
he's like such a small character, but he like is very important to the story because he completely changes Dunk's attitude towards this. And like Dunk
Yeah.
is despairing basically. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna have enough people. I'm not gonna have anything. I'm not even
Yeah.
gonna be able to compete in the Trial of Seven. And
Yeah.
then Steely
The
Pate really just
second
like,
ever Trial of Seven as well. Like,
yeah.
that's major.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like, this is just,
That I
it's
feel
a
like,
lot.
yeah, Steely Pate is like, I'm gonna have my moment. Help Dunk out in this second
Yeah.
one
He was
ever.
indeed. He
And
was
we
like,
really
you get
just
armor, you get armor.
yeah, we really need more people like Steely Pate in
I
Westeros, but
agree.
there's usually the complete opposite of people like
Exactly.
Steely Pate in
People are
Westeros.
normally like, they're trying to squeeze something out of a deal. There's always like
Mhm.
a catch. People are always trying to pull a fast one, and it's sort of dog eat dog. It's
Mhm.
rare to see somebody actually do the right thing just because
Yeah.
it's the right thing to do. He could afford to help out Dunk. He can charge the fancy lords, more money and do Dunk a solid. And he didn't have to. And I think that's one of the themes of the Hedge Knight, is people who could turn the other cheek and just pretend they don't see this, but they don't. They step
Mhm.
up. And Dunk, I mean, he's never had any kind of fighting experience on this level. Like, this is going from like the little leagues to like the Super Bowl or
Yeah.
whatever. I'm crossing sports.
No, but that is one thing you have to remember about Dunk. It's like this is this huge tournament, basically the Super
Yeah.
Bowl. He's going up against these people who have trained their entire lives. And
Yes.
he's been training with this guy who probably doesn't train him actually.
Yeah, like
You
I think
know?
Mr. Arlen will train him for like half an hour, and then
Yeah,
he'll
and then
like,
be like,
okay, we're having a break, and then
yeah,
he'll
it's like time to go
drink.
drink.
Yeah, drink and pass out. And
Yeah.
Dunk's already like, are we going to go again? And
Yeah.
Mr. Arlen's probably just snoring. Like,
Yeah. And
that is canon in my head.
yeah.
But
Dunk
I
I
think
mean
that's such a
Dunk's
good point.
yeah, Dunk's size and strength, it definitely helped him. It definitely like helped his lack of experience. It definitely helped balance it out, I feel like.
Yeah. I also think psychologically as well, like, I think Arion probably feels, yes, I'm better than Dunk, but physically Dunk is superior. Like,
Yeah.
you can't pretend that that aspect doesn't exist. And I think that's just part of Arion's chip on his shoulder. Oh God, I'm just remembering it all. Like, it's just
I know. Like, the giddy
so
feeling
good.
I get from just talking about the show is insane, because like it
I
was
know.
so good. Like, the serotonin boost I got from everything, like everything about the show was
Yes.
just perfect. I loved it.
It's just like we're in a really good moment, a good era. It's just like,
I
let's
know.
savor this. And
Mhm.
I can't wait to like look back and be like, oh, do you remember
I
when?
know it's gonna be one of those things where I'm like, I have such fond memories of
Yeah.
it. Mhm.
So the next thing on my list, I want to mention something sort of beforehand, but I want to talk about obviously the aftermath of the Trial of Seven, but
Mhm.
just quickly, the choice to focus in on specifically Arion and Dunk for the
Yes.
most part.
Mhm.
I love that because we still saw things in the background or like in the peripheral, but
Yeah.
it wasn't an episode all about the battle per se. It was kind of more the two of them getting tired and still going at each other,
Yeah.
and like the injuries. Dunk was, I mean,
Ugh,
they both were. They were
I
fucked up.
know. It was insane. It was hard to watch almost, and like there's been some crazy stuff in
Yeah.
Game of
I
Thrones
was
and House
like,
of the Dragon, but I'm like, oh my god, I almost want to cover my
oh,
eye.
when the knife went through Dunk's hand, I didn't even
Oh my
catch that at
god.
first. It was when I
Yeah.
went back to rewatch it, I was like, no,
And I don't
gross.
I don't even remember what happened, but Arion's fingers being like completely covered in blood
Yeah.
and gore. I'm
It
like,
looked like they'd been chopped off or
I
something.
know. That's what I
Or
thought.
yeah,
That's what I
or
thought.
maybe it was like the end of it. Maybe the the glove kind of thing
Mhm.
extended, so it made
Yeah.
it more like claws, and maybe that's what snapped
Yeah.
off. I wasn't sure,
Yeah, I
but
mean,
at
we know how
first,
flashy he is, so I'm sure he
oh
probably would have had
yeah,
something like that.
oh yeah, he's definitely a bit gauche.
Yeah.
He's got to have the best of the best.
Hmm.
But I also, yeah, I love the choice to not show too much of the other stuff, because
Hmm.
although it's relevant, I do think it was smart with the episode length in mind to focus on Dunk and Arion, and how as it went on they both slowed down, but they were still fighting, but
Hmm.
it wasn't like they were top strength. They were getting so weak
Yeah, it
and
got so
like,
gritty.
yeah, and muddy, and like
Hmm.
it felt very like not Battle of the Bastards in terms of like narrative, but the
Yeah.
visual, the
Yeah.
intensity.
Yeah, that's a good comparison for that. Yeah, definitely.
So the thing I wanted to mention was the aftermath, where firstly, again, I'm trying not to go off on tangents, people. When Arion was dragged by his ankle, it's just
Oh my gosh, yes, I actually wrote that down. I'm like, I had to laugh. I did have to laugh at that because it's like he so
yeah,
deserved to have his face dragged through the mud, because
he
like
really did.
he was
Like,
too pompous. He was too
long
pompous.
time coming. And for him to change from "I yield" to "I withdraw my accusation."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, bitch, that's convenient.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, the moment where everyone's kind of assessing Dunk's injuries, and Baelor saves the day by saying, "You don't want to use oil." He saves Dunk's life again.
Again, yeah.
In his like final breath, he does Dunk a
Oh
solid.
my gosh, it's gonna be hard to relive this moment. So
I
just give me a
know.
second.
It was just, oh, so yeah, it's that moment where I knew it was coming, and I'm like, how are they going to do this?
Hmm.
How are they going to convey it? And it couldn't have gone any better.
Hmm.
Better's not the right word. It was brilliantly
I know what
done,
you mean. I
but
know
it
what
was
you mean.
so sad. It was that moment where Baelor sort of staggered back, and then it was like I feel like they did it in sync with Dunk falling as well. So
Oh
initially, I
yeah.
think people might not have realized Baelor's the one who's not okay, because everyone's looking at Dunk because it was
Hmm.
his obvious injuries. At
Yeah.
first, Baelor doesn't look too messed up, apart from like the part of his helm being snapped off.
Hmm.
And one of the things that I can't remember if I mentioned it here or whether it was on TikTok, but I was wondering, like, could Baelor, could he even see? Because when he's talking about the visor, it's like it's not like it's damaged; it's clean, snapped off, like
Yeah.
it's gone. So I'm like, can he even see
Yeah.
properly? And it's sort of the way that it all unfolded, and the look on Raymond's face when he asked for Steely Pate to come and help. Oh God, it
I
was
know.
awful.
I don't know if you've ever experienced it before, but like when I'm nervous or like I know something bad is about to happen, I literally get like this weird like tingly feeling in my fingertips. Not to say my fingers felt like wood. I don't want to say that.
Ah,
But that's the
tizzy.
feeling. That's the feeling I got. Like a pit in my stomach. My hands were like tingling, and I'm like, I know exactly what's about to happen,
Yeah, that's
but
the
I'm
thing. You
still
do
freaking
know.
out.
I, yeah, and then when he turned and you just saw
Oh
like the
my god.
hamburger meat.
Well, don't call it that. Oh my gosh. No, because when I read the book, my jaw dropped, and I'm like, this is disgusting. I low-key feel like I'm gonna throw up. And
Yeah.
in the book, didn't it like fall out onto the
Yeah,
ground
I think it was a
or?
bit more like gory and gross because he staggers. Like there's an artwork where Baelor is kind of like he's not even able to stand up properly.
Hmm.
So it looks more like, oh, something's up. Whereas he was standing up straight on the show.
Yeah.
So I think it had even more impact. And it's like,
Yeah.
damn, like, and I think there's only so much you can show without it being too much. So I think
Yeah.
they did it just right. And for
Yeah.
Baelor to fall into Dunk's arms, oh, I was
Oh my
gone
god. I
crying.
cried. I
Yeah.
cried. Yeah. I
And it's
was
like,
crying. I'm like,
why are we crying? We know this, but it's gonna
I
happen.
know. I
And
know.
still, yeah.
And I don't know, like Baylor, like I ended up liking him more in the show than I really expected to. So I'm
Mhm.
like, it hit even harder
Yeah.
when it happened, even though I knew it was going to happen. And
Yeah. I've always
it was
loved
just amazing.
Baelor, but I feel like I love him even more now. But
Hmm.
I do think my as much I love both of the brothers. That Baelor and Maker really were. It I don't even know. Like, how do you explain how they were both so good in different ways?
Hmm.
Just the portrayal of those two brothers. I could happily watch this season again and again and again and again and
Hmm.
again. It's just it's a lot. We've been through the ringer, but it's just there's something so heartwarming about this story and about how Maker had to be the only one by a process of elimination. There was nobody else available to have done this
Hmm.
damage to Baelor, and he's got to live with that for the rest of his life, and he'll never forgive
Hmm.
himself ever.
Yeah, which that's actually a good segue into the next point,
Oh
right?
oh,
Because
yeah.
that's actually exactly what we're about to talk about.
You know what? I didn't even realize that. Oh, see, we're professionals. We know what we're doing. Yeah. Do you want to take the lead on this one?
Yeah, so just talking about Makar's grief and his handling of what has transpired, what he has done, and just the guilt that he's feeling. And like Sam Spruill, it's like, oh my god, the micro expressions that he has dealing with things, it's like his acting is absolutely insane. And like the grimace, I said it before, like the grimaces and the looks of disgust, it's like he's
It's so
conveying his
quick as well.
grief.
It's like it's a tiny like look in his eye. It's very small,
Yes.
quick glimpses. If you don't
Yeah.
look, you might not catch it. But it's
Hmm.
so subtle. But it
Yeah.
doesn't need to be anything more than that. I
Hmm.
think he was just such a brilliant choice. Oh, he
Yeah, and I
embodies
mean,
Maker.
but also like if like if we were watching Keeping Up with the Targaryens, we would know, there's more to it. He
Yeah.
probably doesn't want that responsibility. He already
Yeah.
has a lot of weight on his shoulders with all of his like
Yeah. He's
rowdy
busy
kids
enough.
and stuff. So it's like, why
Yeah.
would you
Like
want to deal with that
he might be the
too?
original I don't want it before
Yeah,
Aemon and before Jon Snow.
yeah. Hmm.
But I agree, and it was just yeah, the fact that we all, I suppose, if you're watching like, the UFC or you're watching the Super Bowl or you're watching like I don't know, even like the Olympics, shit, like you get caught up in the moment, people cheer everyone
Hmm.
on, but seeing brother versus brother, it especially when we get to see the behind the scenes of the aftermath, the small folk are going to gossip. It's
Yeah.
going to be fodder for forever, really. Like we were there when this scandalous thing happened, and you know how these things spread like wildfire. And I think that's just it's horrible for Maker and for Dunk. I think they both feel this
Hmm.
shared sense of responsibility, and even though Maker didn't mean it, didn't intend it. I mean, Baelor was putting some strikes in, so Maker had to defend himself.
Yeah.
he didn't realize, I think, it was going to get to this level. But Dunk as well feels a sense of sort of responsibility, blame, shame. Like, if I had just done this differently, Baelor would still be alive. And it brings that question up of, you know, the life of a hedge knight versus the life of a prince, a knight of the realm. And I guess that's the whole point of the story. Like, you don't have to have the title, the official, like, you are a knight. Dunk still... I've done a video earlier on today about Dunk and Brienne, so that's kind of why that's on my mind, of how neither of them fit the stereotype of a knight, but they still fulfill what a knight should be. And I feel like everyone who came through for Team Dunk deserves like an honorary knighthood. Like, Steely Pate deserves something. You know, everyone deserves their flowers, because people could have just left Dunk high and dry. He was nobody to anybody. And I think now Dunk and Maker, they're like linked forever. Like,
they're trauma bonded.
Trauma bonded in a way that probably nobody else could really understand. So
because like they were on opposite sides, but they literally have like, they're pretty much in the same situation, just on different sides. And it's like, I know Dunk is like, he is sharing the grief and everything, and he feels the like responsibility for what's happened, but at the same time it's nice that he can kind of see it from a different perspective, where he's like, you know, maybe I can still do something with my life, maybe, like, you know, this happened for a reason, maybe, like, you know,
silver linings.
Because he said, like, we might need a hedge knight one day more than, you know, the prince's life. And like, I mean, Dunk does go on to do some pretty important things.
Indeed he does. Indeed he does.
And I mean, there is no telling what Baelor could have done if he had become king, but like, we know what happens with a lot of the stuff that Dunk does. So
oh, what a life he lives.
I know. That's why, like, those other like novella ideas that George R. Martin apparently gave. I need to know. I need to know about them.
And it's like, you know, how long would it take for him to write a short story?
Yeah,
you know, compared to Winds of Winter. Like, come on, George, you know.
Because it's not even like, he didn't even write all three of them at once, right? He like wrote them and released them individually. So it's like, give us one, please. Just, you know, give us one.
Yeah, the one at Winterfell would be really good. I'm
oh my gosh, yes.
That was one. So I'd love to see Dunk in the north, or Egg.
That would be crazy. Oh my gosh, yes. I want to see some like in Dorne too. That's what I'm looking forward to. Because I feel like we've never got to see enough of Dorne really in the shows. So.
And the stuff we did see, I was not a fan of. Like,
that wasn't Dorne. That wasn't Dorne. Yeah.
Going on an escapade to don't miss me with that one.
We don't talk about that. We don't need to talk about that.
So the last point I've got on my list, the last sort of moment that I wanted to talk about, another highlight, is basically the final scene of Maker looking for Egg. And I wanted to sort of pick your brain as to what you think happened. Should we tell people the little sort of spoiler about down the line?
I feel like it's kind of necessary to talk about it. So basically, when Egg in the book, when Egg leaves to go with Dunk, Maker gives him this little like signet ring with like the Targaryen sigil and everything on it, and it like is basically kind of his way of proving his identity if he needs to, if he ever gets into a sticky situation or anything. And it's like, like, I'm a Targaryen, you can't do this to me, basically. And it comes up in the Mystery Night, especially. That's when it comes up. And we didn't really get Maekar giving it to him, because Maekar is we are under the impression that Maekar doesn't know where Egg has gone.
It's kind of like a Schrodinger's cat. Like, does he know or does he not know? I don't know. Like, do we know? What's going on? Because it's like multiple layers, and it could be all a big ruse.
Yeah, because I do think there is potential for it being a ruse. But at the same time, I don't see Maekar as the type to put on that much. I don't know if he would, but I could have. I mean, I know earlier in the season we had seen Maekar wearing a ring. I saw somebody point that out. And then when he's on the horse, and then when he's on the horse, like saying like, "Oh, where is he? He's not wearing the ring." So I do think there's potential also that Egg could have stolen the ring himself. But
Yeah.
also, I think you've mentioned it in one of your TikToks. He's only like an 8 or 9-year-old, so like, would he be thinking that far ahead? I
Yeah,
don't
like
know.
he's
I don't
smart,
know.
but he ain't that smart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know if I might be wrong, but I feel because we got that scene with Dunk and Daron in the tent, which I love that whole interaction where he
Mhm.
was saying like, "Will you allow Egg to squire for you?" and blah blah blah. I think Daron slipped Egg,
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
and I think he will tell his dad. Like, Daron's probably not sobered up yet, but I
Yeah.
just like, did we get that moment? And the way that I just thought that the scene was brilliant, like with Dunk, who was like, "How can you even show your face here?" And
Hmm.
Daron, he knows that Egg is the type to not follow orders. He's the type to
Yeah.
go off, and he knows that he wants to be with Dunk and to learn.
Mhm.
So maybe Daron was like, "Look, Egg is gonna probably try and sneak off again at some point." Maybe he had a word and was like, "Look," and then he'll explain to Maker later on. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we
Maybe
did
Maker
talk.
is faking, so who knows?
Yeah, well, I'm sure we'll find out.
Yeah,
But I know we did talk about
TBD.
Daron. We did talk about Daron and Egg. We kind of saw more of their relationship, and like they kind of expanded on it a little more. So I
Yeah,
definitely wouldn't put it past Daron to like slip it to him and be
yeah,
like like the good older brother, and actually like
yeah,
have a nice like older brother moment for once, and be like,
yeah,
here's this. If you ever get into any trouble, you can use
yeah,
it. And then I could
yeah.
totally see that. And like they could have potentially already filmed that and like have it as a flashback or something in
Exactly,
season
because we
two.
know they like to do that. So
Yeah.
who knows? And that's one of the things that when somebody asked me about, like, do you think it was a ruse? And it didn't even occur to me till after I posted the video where I was saying I think Maker was pretending. It was
Hmm.
after the fact, and I'd already posted it on TikTok. So when I was posting it on Instagram, I recorded an extra bit at the end where I said, "Shit, I think it might be Daron."
Hmm.
So I went into the comments like, "Guys, maybe Daron did it on TikTok." Like,
Yeah.
maybe. And I just feel like I didn't even think of that until this final episode. And just seeing how Daron clearly does care for Egg. And even for Arion, him not being like that as a child, being happy at one point and something changed.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like Daron going, "I couldn't help him. And Eamon's at the Citadel, so I can't really do much there." The only son, maybe, oh, I'm reading too much into it now, but maybe Daron looks at Egg like, "You're my child. I'm the eldest. I helped raise you."
Yeah, you did say that. You did say he might have
Just
helped. He might have had a hand in helping a lot more.
who knows? I
Um,
like to think that that's the case.
yeah.
And that's him doing what he can. Because Daron does seem to be quite down on himself. He's like, "I'm not good at jousting. I'm not particularly, I can't run very fast. I can't really do much."
Yeah.
But this is something he could do. So I'm curious as to how this is explained going forward. And especially when Egg will reveal the ring. Because,
Yeah.
you never know what trouble he might get into.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of like I know me. I thought that Egg had gotten like explicit permission in the book from Makar to go with Dunk,
That's how
but
I read it as
yeah,
well. And
but it's
that's the
kind of like the
thing.
Mandela effect. It's like I feel like
Yeah.
everyone got that and I just thought that, but then when I went
Yeah.
back and looked, I'm like, he never actually got explicit permission to
Yeah. It
go.
makes you wonder, like, hmm, let's read between the lines here. And who else would be able to provide this
Hmm.
ring? Like, who's going to have access to it?
Yeah.
And especially because I wasn't sure if, like, the edits I saw about the ring, not wearing the ring, were like real at first.
Hmm.
I was like, "Is somebody just photoshopped that or whatever?"
Yeah.
And it's
Exactly.
like, because when you're like, "Is that even for real?"
Yeah.
But I thought, well, maybe Maker knows and he's just trying to maybe not raise the alarm that Egg's missing, but just let it be known he goes off. And so
Hmm.
that becomes an understandable part of Egg's personality that people just assume if he's not been seen around court for a while or down at Summerhall, that it's nothing to worry about. He does this often. So I don't
Hmm.
know if it's just kind of part of the bigger ruse. I don't know, but
Yeah.
it's something that definitely I can't wait to see them explain because I'm sure that they will in
Yeah.
due course. Also, just quickly mentioning like things where how you said about the flashbacks and they fill in sort of the blanks. Raymond Fossaway with his green apple sigil. I just thought that was lovely because I wished we'd seen that at the end of episode 5, before it all kicked off. Well, beginning of episode 5, I should say. I'm glad that we got that moment of him saying,
too.
I've made my new house and we are better than those stinky, rotten red apples.
Yeah.
And I just love that.
Yeah, because I remember seeing you had posted a TikTok saying that you had wanted that in episode 5, and then I saw it in episode 6. I'm like, oh, I know Kelly's gonna like this. I know she's gonna
I
like
was
this.
just like, yes. You know what? And also good for Raymond getting the girl. Like, and again, it's something that is not written in the book, but I'm not mad at it.
Yeah,
and
that's
shout
one
out
of
to
the
Rowan because she got the bag. Like,
yeah,
it, girl.
that was one of the funniest parts ever. Because Duncan's just like, wait, aren't you? And she's like, I'm his wife.
Yeah.
And he's like,
I've seen a lot of people talk about, when she said at the beginning, when it's like her profession and Dunk's profession, they're not that different. And I think that's the thing at the end. It's like, is Dunk a knight? Is he not? Is she legit? Is she telling fibs? Does it even matter? And I think, again, it's just really intelligent work on behalf of the show. It feels like people genuinely love this story and they've done everything in their power to make it as good as it could possibly be. And especially as like me and you, we love this story so much. And I'm sure that, we would have loved whatever they probably put out. Like, I'm sure, we were like, we want to see these characters. But what they've done, they deserve all the awards, all the praise, 10s on board, everything. Like, I hope they get nominated for everything. Because this, not only has the show been really good and been received well, I think it's genuinely like, we needed this in January. Like, this is what we needed to just give us a boost in these dark times that we're living in.
Yeah. And it's like, I don't know, something like, I know some bad things happen in this story, but it's like, it's still a much more cozy and grounded story compared to other stuff. And it just has such a nice light vibe to it. And I think that's the reason it's one of my favorite stories in the A Song of Ice and Fire universe.
Like, the simplicity, maybe that's what it is.
I think so, yeah. Because there's not a bunch of like intricate stuff in there. Like, really, it's not like
it's a simple story when you distill it down.
Yeah, because like there are
beautiful.
There are like prophecies, I guess, in there, but they're not big like end of the world type stuff.
Yeah,
I really like that because it's like we can have that in this same world, but at the same time have these little things, and I really like that. I love it.
Yeah, it's been good, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been amazing.
This has been so good, and I can't wait for us to do this next year for season 2 because also House of the Dragon.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. House of the Dragon. Oh, season 3. It's gonna destroy me.
But the trailer stressed me out.
Yeah, me too.
I was like, I can't take. I'm gonna start getting grey hair. I can't.
No, you know what stressed me out? You know what stressed me out was Aemon's wig. That's what stressed me out. That thing was stiff. That looked.
That was a shake and go. That was. Not... I'm hoping that it was the angle or maybe the lighting.
But
I'm like, dude, that's not. Nowadays, the queens have like their edges laid to look. Like, get it together. Like,
yeah, that was crazy.
Christy. But maybe that was just that shot, and maybe in better lighting it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. We don't want it to be too clockable, do we?
Yeah. Also, you did mention doing this for season 2, which I'm even more excited than this one because The Sworn Sword is my favorite of the 3 short stories. It was so good.
I think it's mine as well, I go back and forth because they're all so good.
Yeah, I know. They are all really good.
They all stand alone. Like, they're all good individual stories and good as a trilogy novella. Like, it's just brilliant writing.
Yeah, so I don't know. This was just a very good starting point for this show, basically. And I can't, because like it can only get better from here, because like especially in the third one, it's like there's even higher stakes, I feel like, in the third one. So
yeah, that one is the one that I think they can do so much with that because there's so much political goings on. Oh, I can't wait. And to see how Dunk and Egg will be even closer by that point,
Yeah.
So,
and also, like, such a small kind of niche thing for me is I know the castle in the third one is like supposed to be like a newer castle and like newly built. I feel like it's so random, but I feel like all the castles we've seen in any of the Game of Thrones shows, any of the Song of Ice and Fire shows, they've all been kind of old. So I'm excited to see how they do a new looking castle.
Nice.
Yeah, kind of niche. kind of niche, but I'm like, I can't wait to see that. You know?
Oh, but yeah, this has been really fun. Should we wrap this up? Because
Yes.
we've gone through our list, and obviously let us know, to everybody watching this video, do you agree with the moments that me and Jordan have mentioned? And is there a moment that you think, oh, can't believe you didn't mention this? We want to know. And we want to know the best moments that really just shine, because there's a lot to pick from. It's kind of hard to narrow it down to like 5 or 10 or whatever. So yeah, but that's the task for everybody watching.
Yeah,
Can you narrow it down? Do you have a short list like we've managed to do?
I had made even more than this, but I'm like, I need to narrow it down because I don't want to be on here talking for 4 hours.
Yeah, because we so could have. Like,
yeah.
Maybe one day we'll just do a live where we just chat off the cuff for hours and just
I
go
would love that.
See, this is it. Yeah.
I love that. But yeah, I had so much fun filming this because like it's a good kind of outlet, I guess, for me to talk about all the things I've been wanting to.
Like, so yeah, this has been really fun, and we're gonna do more, the two of us, because like people might not realize, but like we are very good friends. So, and we talk all the time. So like let's just put it out there for everybody else to join in and see.
Because we have a lot of common interests. I mean, there's plenty of stuff we can do videos on.
Exactly, very much so. But I also want to urge everybody to go and check out your various channels, like YouTube, TikTok, Insta, everywhere. You've got we'll put it all in the description, like all of our links and what have you. But Jordan is a real one, so if you like my content, you're absolutely gonna love his, because he's lovely. So I think that's important for the people to know.
Yeah, and the people, I'm sure they're already aware of how like amazing and charming you are. I mean, that's why they're here. So you have I mean, I've seen all the TikToks of people saying they're just gonna go about their day listening to your TikToks, you know, put them on. I love how that became a
thing. It's like
it really is a trend. It's a trend.
Yeah, people send me them all the time, and I get tagged in them, and like sometimes I'm like, there was a comment that someone left the other day where she said she was in her car and she was listening to one of my videos, and somebody tapped on the window and said, "Is that the Game of Thrones historian?" Apparently this was in Pittsburgh. So I'm
my god,
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, you're really like a celebrity in the fandom, so I love that.
Stop.
No, because you're Game of Thrones historian. Come on, like who else is doing it like you?
Self-appointed, but you know, I ain't giving that title up, so I just changed my name legally to Game of Thrones historian, like Phoebe Buffet style.
Well, I think I mentioned it in the last video where like an anagram of Game of Thrones historian is goth, and I feel like that fits your whole vibe perfectly.
I mean, it's so true. It literally is. It's me to a T. Yeah, I feel like you know what? Us talking about this is like talking about, you know, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and everything. I feel like this whole thing has been a treat for us fans. Like, you know, we've gone through some hardships. We've had some seasons that were difficult of certain shows, plural. We've had a long wait for any further conclusions in the stories and what have you. It was like, I love this for us, for the fans, because it's just been a lovely couple of weeks talking about an awesome story. And I think it's just nice. Nobody said, oh, that was shit. Well, the only people have said who've been negative is they say it's not long enough. We want more episodes.
Yeah.
And I get it, but sometimes too much of a good thing. I don't know. I think they got it just right.
Yeah, this is like the perfect balance, most definitely. And like it's just, I don't know, there's so much love surrounding it, like from the cast, the crew, the fans, everything. That's why
it's a great time to be involved.
It really
in
fandom. Yeah, and that's why it's so special.
I want to look back on this and be like, do you remember like January, February 2026, and we were watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms season 1, and it was good times.
Yeah.
Because you know, life's hard these days, and it's nice to have something that everyone's looking forward to, like appointment television as well. It's like every Monday morning, my comments have been, "Did you see the episode?" And like, "Where's your review? I'm waiting." I'm like, "I'm doing it. I'm getting there. I'm going as fast as I can." But
I mean, I'm one of the people waiting. So.
Yeah, but we all love to talk about it. So I think it just creates a lovely atmosphere. It's nice. It's a nice feeling at this moment in the fandom, given that we are going to be moving on to House of the Dragon season 3, which is not going to be pleasant.
Yeah.
Like, It's going to be intense storylines. Everyone's going to cry.
It's
We're all
starting
gonna be in
out.
bits.
It's
Yeah,
starting
from the
out
get-go.
heavy, crazy, yeah.
Yeah,
So.
not prepared. We'll have the Kleenex on standby for when we do
Yeah.
our recap of House of the Dragon, because we're going to be an emotional wreck.
Yeah.
Like, these are happy tears, apart from Baelor. Happy tears for Night of the Seven Kingdoms, but House of the Dragon's going to destroy us.
I know. I've already seen edits that have made me like get a little choked up. So.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say any spoilers, but you know. I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you know.